Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It is December 26th, the day after Christmas.
Day after Christmas, a lot of recovery. You know, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's the day after Christmas, so it won't be as painful as the day of Christmas if I was delivering this news. But, you know, a lot of people around the country have to pay taxes by the end of the year in some shape or form. And there's apparently property taxes are due in Jefferson County, Missouri, which is close to Kansas City, Missouri. A lady up there got her assessment for her property tax. It went up 135%, which meant her value of her property increased 45%.
That is a lot. That is a big jump.
That's a big jump. She was trying to protest, hadn't heard back from them, so she thought she was going to be kind of cute with the way she was going to pay her property tax bill, and she was going to do it in nickels.
In nickels. She said she made multiple calls to multiple people at the county, has not been returned. Her appeal not yet processed. Feeling ignored, Lockett decided to pay her tax bill in nickels. All the nickels needed came to 1,419 rolls, weighing 625 pounds.
Apparently she had a blue wagon ready to haul them all into the courthouse down there at Jefferson County. However, they got word about this. Here's the letter that the director of collections sent her. It has come to my attention that you intend to pay your county property taxes using coins. As such, I wanted to make you aware of a state law and county policy regarding such forms of payment prior to you attempting to make such a payment. Missouri Revised Statute Section 139.040 authorizes the collection of authority to refuse any form of payment. So you walk in there with all those nickels and they go, we're not taking all our time to count your nickels.
So the letter didn't address her property tax concerns that she's been trying to get a hold of them to talk about, but they did inform her that, of course, that we just said her coins will not be accepted. However, Lockett said she will pay her property taxes on time before the end of the year, but she's still defiant. She will only give a hint about her new plan. She says it won't be nickels, but it's not going to be a check either. So she's got something up her sleeve.
And kind of an ironic twist is like, well, why would you take the time to do all this if I'm taking the time to do all that? And then, of course, they found out that the reason why she hasn't heard back on her protest was there's like 8,600 unread emails.
Oops.
So I guess she's got a point to a certain extent. So, but anyway, so there you go. Pay your taxes with nickels. I would take the money regardless, wouldn't you? If you were the county?
It's money.
It's money. Here's a look at your rundown.
Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska telling an Anchorage news program she was disturbed by McConnell's comments, adding there should be distance between the White House and Senate over the impeachment proceedings.
Benjamin Netanyahu was led away from a campaign rally. Israel's air defense system intercepted the rocket, which was launched from Gaza. It came just hours before Netanyahu faces a leadership challenge from his own party.
Max, how does it look out there?
Good morning, guys. Well, David, Sarah, you guys kind of said it is the calm before the storm. I'm actually told that we missed the quote-unquote morning rush, and I mean, from everything we see, it is super smooth sailing this morning.
Health officials are trying to track down people who may have been exposed to measles. Authorities say people infected with the highly contagious virus traveled through at least 5 airports and may have exposed others to the disease.
This Christmas was the first in more than 200 years that Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris could not hold services for the holiday. It was badly damaged in a fire last April.
To a dramatic rescue in China after a man fell down an elevator shaft because the doors opened by mistake.
According to the latest numbers from MasterCard, online shopping accounted for 14.6% of all retail sales.
Former Olympic skier Lindsey Vonn made an untraditional move and popped the big question to her fiancé. Vonn made the announcement on social media saying, quote, "I asked PK to marry me and he said yes."
She was like, "I don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think I'm going to make it."
The story sounds familiar. You know, somebody's born on Christmas Day, 3 guys sitting on site waiting to meet him. It's like, seems fitting.
Officers in California surprised drivers during routine traffic stops on Christmas, doling out $100 bills, y'all, in lieu of tickets.
Officers handed out the bills as part of Madera County's Operation Random Acts of Kindness. Now in its 5th year. Not a bad excuse to get pulled over by the police there.
Hope that happens to me next time.
I think there's one valuable lesson we learned in that segment today. If you live in a high rise and you use an elevator, don't lean up against the elevator door if you're up above the first floor.
You know, when I was in college, that happened to somebody.
They fell in the elevator.
But it was only 3 stories. It was a student there, and they had come from a party. So, but they opened the door and the elevator wasn't there. They walked in.
Gone.
Yeah, they had some injuries. So, now I'm scared after hearing that story. I'm like,
don't lean up against the elevator door.
Is it there?
Is it there? Just stay outside.
Speaking of outside.
In the warm weather.
Is that fog, Justin?
No, we're looking through a lot of air here, and this shot is always deceiving. It does look like it's a little hazy. It may be a little bit hazy, but we're not seeing fog here in San Antonio. We've got some clouds. Sun is trying to shine through. We're going to see mostly cloudy skies, though, today. More clouds than we saw yesterday, at least. Temperature-wise, 63 degrees right now in San Antonio, 61 Kerrville, 61 Uvalde, 58 degrees right now in Del Rio. Dew point is at 57, so humidity is up. We're feeling it now. East-northeasterly winds at about 5 miles per hour. Let's take a look at what's going on fog-wise, or temperature-wise, I should say. 60s, Canyon Lake, New Braunfels, Stinson, down to Castroville. And now there's a look at the visibility. We had some issues off east with some fog, Victoria up to LaGrange. Most of that has resolved itself, so we're just dealing with mostly cloudy skies, as I mentioned. Mountain Cedars in the high category. Want to warn you there. It's 10,750. It's been high last couple days. Mold is low at 200. Today's forecast, mostly cloudy, will be up around 70. So another warm day. Southeasterly winds 5 to 10. And tomorrow, about the same, but we could start to see some rain chances, and they'll really kick in this weekend as a storm system comes through. We'll talk about the timing on that and what it means for New Year's Eve coming up in just a bit. Guys?
All right, round town with TransGuide. It's supposed to be a very, 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 very busy travel day. I don't know where everybody is, but they're not out on the roads right now.
Maybe San Antonio's not traveling today.
Well, maybe not. Max Massey has more on the big travel day coming up in just a few minutes. But first,
some top stories we are following today. We now know the name of the man killed by San Antonio police after a confrontation Monday night on the south side.
The medical examiner's office identified him as 34-year-old Masario Hernandez. Police Chief William McManus says officers responded to a call for a stolen vehicle in the 200 block of Candelia Avenue. When officers found the vehicle, they saw Hernandez stealing parts from it.
McManus said that's when Hernandez got into another car and drove away, eventually crashing near Theo Avenue and Flores Street. When police confronted him, McManus says Hernandez had a gun and 4 officers shot him, killing him. All 4 officers had been placed on administrative duty pending the outcome of the investigation.
The medical examiner's office also identifying the pregnant woman shot and killed by the father of her children Christmas Day. Officials say she was 24-year-old Gabriela Rodriguez, who was 33 weeks pregnant.
The shooting happened yesterday around 2 p.m. Police say Rodriguez was at her ex's house in the 11,000 block of 300 block of Candle Park to exchange children. Rodriguez's boyfriend was waiting outside when he heard gunshots.
Police found Rodriguez dead and found the suspect had also shot himself. He was taken to the hospital. Police say the woman's 2-year-old and 6-year-old were in the home at the time of the shooting.
A man is facing charges this morning after police say he crashed into a patrol car and then 3 new vehicles at a far north side dealership.
It all started around 11 last night near Hardy Oak and Sonterra Boulevard when an officer pulled the man over because he was driving the wrong way. Police tell us the man was speaking incoherently and eventually sped off, intentionally hitting the officer's patrol car.
Officers followed him to the Alamo Toyota car dealership where he hit 3 new vehicles and a security patrol car. The suspect was charged with assault on a peace officer, evading arrest, resisting arrest, and criminal mischief.
One person behind bars, another in the hospital this morning after a Christmas celebration at The Well turned into chaos.
The incident started around 2 this morning when the crowd began to leave the bar, which is in the 5400 block of UTSA Boulevard. At least 25 police units responded to the scene for crowd control, and officers found a man with injuries. Right now, they're investigating if another person at the bar beat him up in the parking lot.
Police also arrested a man for what they say was a family violence incident. And one driver crashed into several police cruisers in the parking lot. The Texas Alcohol and Beverage Commission now reviewing the bar's license.
From policies businesses need to follow if your data has been breached on their watch to protection for Texans impacted by disasters.
Tiffany Huertas gives us a preview of some of the laws that go into effect on January 1st.
In 2020, new requirements are going into effect statewide for reporting harassment at colleges. Senate Bill 212 requires college and university employees report incidents of sexual harassment, sexual assault, dating violence, and stalking against a student or colleague to their campus coordinator. Employees who fail to report an incident made aware to them will face a Class B misdemeanor charge. If discovered that an employee's intentions were to cover up the incident, they will face a Class A misdemeanor charge. Another new law aims to boost Texas flood funding. Senate Bill 7 creates the Texas Infrastructure Resiliency Fund to assist in financing flood mitigation projects. The fund houses 4 accounts: floodplain management, Hurricane Harvey, flood plan implementation, and federal matching. Another bill creates temporary tax relief for homeowners hit hard by disasters. House Bill 492 allows temporary tax exemption for qualified property that is declared by the governor to be in a disaster area and at least 15% damaged by the disaster as decided by the chief appraiser. Texas businesses, listen up. House Bill 4390 requires business owners who own or license computerized data that stores personal information to notify people who may be impacted by an online breach. They will have up to 60 days after the breach to report it. I'm Tiffany Huertas. To see more stories like this, check out KSAT News at 9, Monday through Friday.
In your morning headlines, Christmas is officially over, and that may mean a busy day for travel around the country. Meanwhile, Santa was a key suspect in a bank robbery. Santa?
And it's the first day of Kwanzaa, plus hundreds of homes at risk after widespread forest fires in Chile. Max Massey joins us now in the studio. So, Max, we've been talking about it all morning. I know you were at the airport earlier. We were lucky to see somebody walk by you because it wasn't that crowded at that moment.
Did it pick up after when you were getting to leave?
No. So we were told actually that the morning rush happened before we got there. It is expected to pick up a little bit more around 10 a.m. and then 5 p.m. for those midday and late night flights. But travel here in San Antonio, not too bad. We saw TransGuide earlier. Not too many people out on the roads.
Not at all.
Very different story, though, across the country. Now, according to AAA, in fact, this could be one of the busiest days on the roads. Now, one of the worst days of the year for some drivers. AAA predicting that more Americans than ever will drive this holiday season. Get this, nearly 105 million Americans hitting the road for their holiday destination. That's almost a 4% increase compared to last year. Data showing that today is when you can expect traffic delays to nearly double your trip time. From December 21st through January 1st, expect more than 115 million Americans to travel by car, plane, train, bus, or even cruise ship. That's the most in nearly 20 years. And at least 200 homes damaged after forest fires swept through Chile. The fires, which began on Christmas Eve, now believed to have been set intentionally. Now, a blaze sparked on Christmas Eve raged through Chile's coastal city, leaving hundreds of people without a home, knocking out power for thousands more. By Christmas, not much was left. Volunteers sifting through the rubble. The damage is extensive, and Chilean officials saying they're still trying to figure out how much was actually lost.
Our teams are already starting to see that it could be up to at least 200 homes affected. These are many homes where many families could have been affected. This isn't just about the numbers. There are families behind this to whom we have to answer.
So far, no deaths or major injuries have been reported, and at last check, the mayor did not say whether there were any suspects in the case, but the Chilean president did express his sympathy to those who lost their homes and his support to the emergency responders still fighting the blaze. Well, Christmas is over. It is the 5th night of Hanukkah, and today, the first day of Kwanzaa. The week-long holiday is celebration of the African-American culture, focusing on family and community. Each day of Kwanzaa dedicated to one of the 7 principles: unity, self-determination, collective responsibility, cooperative economics, purpose, creativity, and faith. A candle lit every night, and on December 31st, there is a feast taking place before the holiday wraps up on January 1st. Fun fact: Kwanzaa was created in 1966 by a Pan-African Studies professor at California State University. And here's a sight and a story you don't really see every day. An older man with a white beard throwing money out on the streets of Colorado Springs. But no, it was not Santa Claus. It turns out the man identified as David Wayne Oliver, and when he was throwing the money out, he had just robbed a bank. Police say the suspect threatened a bank teller with a weapon, then left the bank with a bag of cash. When he got that bag of cash, he then started making it rain outside, yelling Merry Christmas. But here's the part of the holiday spirit. Bystanders actually gathering that scattered cash and returned it to the bank teller. After the scene, the suspect simply walked next door to the Starbucks and waited for the police to arrive. He was taken into custody at that coffee shop.
Maybe he had, Scrooge, he had the spirit of Christmas past come to him and say, you really need to give back. And maybe that was his way. He just went to the bank and was like, Merry Christmas.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Didn't work out too well for him, though.
No.
He can think about Robin Hood while he's in the jail.
But how about those people? Like, he's throwing money out instead of taking the money and getting in their cars.
See, now that's the Christmas spirit.
Exactly. They gathered it and handed it back to the bank.
Grabbed some, and then the Starbucks got involved.
I don't know why
Starbucks always get involved.
Starbucks, well, because there's one in every corner.
I guess so.
Which I'm okay with.
All right. Thanks, Max.
Thank you, guys.
All right, it is 9:13 and 60, what did I say? 63 degrees. Only got up a temperature since early this morning, or a degree.
Well, did Santa bring you what you wanted for Christmas? Chances are there are some gifts you'd like to return or exchange. We have some tips to navigate those returns.
And are you trying to decide how to spend all the cash you got for Christmas this year? That cash you didn't give back to the bank? How about buying local? How the prosperity of one local business will impact the imagination and education of kids in San Antonio. That's coming up later on in the newscast.
And it's one of the most popular characters of the year and the center of thousands of memes. And now it's finally becoming a toy when you'll be able to get your hands on a Baby Yoda toy.
And as we go to break, here's a look at the stock market. Things are looking pretty good today on the day after Christmas. It's up.
So check this out. You've probably seen your fair share of Baby Yoda memes. Now there is a toy to go along with the character growing in popularity.
The Disney Store has unveiled this Baby Yoda stuffed toy. It's based on the creature known as the Child on Star Wars, The Mandalorian, a new series streaming on Disney+. Disney is now taking pre-orders on the toy, but it will not be available until March 9th.
So long to wait. Hasbro says its own line of Baby Yoda toys will be available sometime in 2020. The people behind The Mandalorian say they waited to release Baby Yoda toys to avoid spoiling the character's reveal. I don't know if you guys watched The Mandalorian, but I think Baby Yoda saved 2019. There is not one person who has something negative or mean.
That is a bold statement.
By the time the toy comes out, Baby Yoda's going to be a teenager.
No, Baby Yoda's 50 years old in the series.
Okay, well, he's going to be like 90 by the time the toy comes out. In the series, and how can he be called Baby Yoda? I don't.
Well, that's the mystery behind it.
Oh.
But I mean, in this year that's had all this craziness, Baby Yoda he's ours.
Why do they call him Baby Yoda then?
Because we don't know his name, and he acts like a baby, and he gets floated around in a baby carrier car seat thing.
Here's all I'll say.
Okay.
Disney is brilliant at marketing.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so good at it. Now everybody wants Baby Yoda.
They're going to be like the Furbies.
Oh, yeah, it's going to take...
Big eyes, big ears, little thing.
It's going to take off. They're very cute.
Super cute.
Very cute. Well...
Is the weather cute?
Let's just stick with Elmo.
You're way behind, David. That's like 90s, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Decades ago.
We do have some clouds out there this morning. We had a little bit of fog, but not a big problem. And we look at the satellite picture, you see those clouds streaming in. So we've got some high clouds over top of some low clouds, and what this amounts to is mostly cloudy skies. That's what we're going to see today. It'll stay mostly cloudy probably through the afternoon. Let's take a look at the numbers. 60 in Austin, 61 Fredericksburg, 61 Uvalde, 61 Eagle Pass. So it's pretty mild out there considering where we are. Late December, you typically don't see temperatures like this. And we'll zoom in a little bit closer here and show you the numbers around Bexar County. 63 at the airport, 63 Port SA, 60 right now at Stinson with mostly cloudy skies there. Let's go outside. You see the mostly cloudy conditions. Dew point is at 57, east-northeasterly winds at about 5. Visibility is good. We have not had the problems with fog here. The only spots that I've seen it really be an issue are out towards the east, LaGrange down to Victoria. And even now, those visibility numbers are up. There is a dense fog advisory that goes for about another 40 minutes or so, but unless you're traveling up I-35, it's really not going to be an issue for most of us. If you are traveling today up to Dallas, cloudy skies, 69 up there, 73 Houston along I-10, Laredo 76 cloudy. There'll be some clouds, but I don't anticipate any real big travel issues, at least weather-wise. there's obviously going to be quite a bit of traffic today, but weather's not going to cause any more issues. And as we look at the big picture here across Texas, you see those high clouds streaming in. That is some upper level Pacific moisture that is coming out ahead of our next storm system, which right now is over LA and California. This is a small but strong system. It's putting down some rain, some snow. In fact, they had a tornado warning a little bit earlier this morning around LA. Don't see that too often. Just shows you how dynamic this storm system is. Now, it weakens some as it makes it to Texas, but it brings us some rain chances on Saturday, I think. We'll get some showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Futurecast shows we've got clouds today, and then tomorrow morning, maybe some fog, maybe some drizzle, and then tomorrow afternoon, outside chance for shower. I don't think it's great, but it'll stay cloudy. And then it's the storm system that's moving in that'll give us the best chance of rain. This is Saturday morning, some showers out west, and those will work east during the day. So by midday, we're seeing a decent chance for rain. Again, we could even see a thunderstorm or two. Once that front gets through, we'll get some sun on Sunday. And the second half of the weekend's pretty nice, a little bit cooler behind the front. 70 degrees today, mostly cloudy. Then tomorrow we'll go 71, 20% chance of showers, 40% chance though on Saturday. And then cooler, somewhat drier Sunday and Monday, but moisture returns pretty quickly by New Year's Eve. We'll get some clouds, maybe a shower late Tuesday night, which we don't want it to interrupt festivities, but some showers possibly on New Year's Day as well.
It looks like we're actually having winter, at least overnight, but not really during the day.
You know what? We've had a couple of good cold fronts, but all in all, it's felt pretty warm so far this winter.
That Monday and Tuesday looks pretty good for kids at home.
I disagree with that.
No? Well,
I feel like it's been very cold, colder than usual. This week has been warm.
Problem is, you're out reporting early in the morning.
Yeah, you're not
outside.
experiencing
I know.
it. I'm in full-blown
You're in the
experience.
thick of it.
Talking about.
I'm outside and I'm cold and I have...
Still ahead on GMSA at 9. It happened to all of us. You open up a gift and it's something you don't like. Do you say anything? Or you already have. After the break, some tips on how to handle the returns and exchanges.
This SA Salute holiday greeting is brought to you by Broadway Bank.
Hi, my name's Mika Roscoe. I served 6 years in the Navy Reserves, and we want to wish all you veterans and active military a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
So did Santa bring you what you wanted for Christmas?
Yes.
He did?
Yeah.
See, that's good for you.
Well, chances are there are some gifts that you'd like to return or exchange if you didn't get what you wanted from Santa. CNN's Mary Maloney has a closer look at how to navigate those returns.
They say it's the thought that counts, but when it comes to holiday presents, not every gift is a winner. Every retail and online store has its own policy when it comes to returns and exchanges. Experts say check the fine print before you head to the store.
Sometimes during the holidays, there's actually not the same return policy that there is year-round. Is there a restocking fee if they do accept a refund?
Consumer Reports also recommends these 3 tips. Number 1, don't open the box. Keep the original packaging intact. Otherwise, retailers may charge you a restocking fee. This is especially important for electronics. Number 2, keep those receipts. Consumer Reports says having one will ensure you get a full refund. Otherwise, you'll likely get store credit.
We're reading that fine print to understand how are we going to return these gifts if our loved one doesn't like them, and make sure we're getting those gift receipts.
And number 3, bring your ID. Some stores use computerized return systems that detect abuse, and you may be required to show identification. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
That's why the roads are supposed to be crowded today. Everybody taking back gifts that didn't fit or they didn't like or something.
I'd wait.
You'd wait?
Oh.
You got to be kind of quiet about it because you don't want people that gave you something that, you know, hey, I don't like this, I'm taking it back. You got the receipt?
I feel like that's so rude. I'm always just like, it's great, and I'll wear it. I don't even like it. But I'm just like, I feel bad.
Oops. There's a lot more ahead on Good Morning San Antonio at 9.
An Oregon man has found a unique way to spend more time with his 10 grandchildren. A look at the Grandfather Express he bought to take his kids to school.
That's pretty cool. Before 2019 comes to an end, we're going to look back at some of the most memorable stories. Today, we look back at the year in weather.
And did you get a lot of cash for Christmas? Okay. And are trying to decide how to spend it? If you got a lot of cash for Christmas, good for you. After the break, our Alicia Bodetta tells us why shopping local is the way to go.
Welcome back, 9:32. Here's the question of the day. What do you do with all that extra holiday cash or the money stuffed in your Christmas stocking? Maybe you think about buying local.
Absolutely. Shopping small and shopping local means your money stays right here in the local economy for businesses to pay their workers and make a greater impact in your community.
Alicia Barrera has the story of how the prosperity of one local business will impact the imagination and education of San Antonio kids.
Talking about the local car wash, where those cars never seem to stop coming. Those rags and machines keep humming at Bubble Bath Car Wash.
It gives us the resources to continue not only building our staff and building our sites for our customers.
The profits have allowed President Nicolas Lopez to take their bubbles to another level, where the small and mighty can explore.
So we thought, why not join two wonderful things? A parent trying to get their car cleaned and a kid who gets to have a blast seeing the lights and the soaps and the sounds to keep them happy and the parents happy.
Bubble Bath Car Wash is the latest business to join the Museum's Littletown exhibit, and they've gone the extra mile to ensure the Tiny Tots have a top-notch experience.
This is the exact same material and the exact same pattern and fashion. Same thing with our midder cloths. This is microfiber foam that we swish back and forth to clean your car. And it is just as soft and playful as you can imagine. And so we'll trust your car with it. We'll definitely trust your kids with it too.
It's their way of saying thank you to the moms, dads, and grandparents that have ever rolled their way through the car wash tunnels.
Truth is, I mean, against all these big businesses that have all this money to compete against, we pour out all of our heart, everything we can do for our community as much as possible. San Antonio is our home, and it's a place where we're going to put our money, our time, and our effort to continue to build this city.
That's a pretty good idea. I like that. Buying local, get your car washed.
Can you get your car washed today, Justin? Or maybe in the next couple days? Maybe not a good idea?
Or your kid washed?
I would say no. Only because I think we're going to get some sprinkles, maybe some drizzle tomorrow, and then some chances of rain Saturday. After Saturday, maybe. We've got some more chances down the line, too, as we get towards New Year's Eve. Let's first talk temperatures, though. It's mild out there. 63 degrees here in San Antonio. You've got to go out to West Texas before you find any really cool stuff. 36 in Marfa, 39 in Amarillo right now. And as we look at visibility across the state, there is quite a bit of fog, but it's all north and east of us. So places like Dallas, Waco, Tyler, they're all dealing with fog this morning, even out towards Abilene. If you're heading north up I-35, you will run into some of that. Here is the forecast high temperature today. 70 here in town, 69 Uvalde, 70 in Eagle Pass. Basically about where we were yesterday, maybe a degree or two cooler, only because we have all that cloud cover in place. And just a reminder, Mountain Cedar is in the high category still. It's at 10,750 today, down just a little bit from yesterday, but not much. 70 the high temperature, mostly cloudy across the board. We'll see east-southeasterly winds at about 10 miles per hour. And the temperature's not falling off much tonight. We'll talk more about that forecast and those rain possibilities here in just a bit. Guys.
All right, Justin, thank you very much. There's a look at TransGuide around town. Still, well, there's a little, I guess, stalled car over there on the side of the highway right there. What, 281?
281,
is that what it was?
yeah.
But other than that, look at that. I don't know where people are, but they're not out on the roads today.
San Antonio is still enjoying the Christmas holiday.
There's another stalled car, but still not affecting traffic. So they're, recovering.
Very nice. Well, check this out. An Oregon man has found a unique way to spend more time with his 10 grandchildren. He bought a school bus to take the kids to school.
Doug Hayes calls the bus the Grandfather Express. He even had the words plastered on the side of the bus. 5 of Hayes' grandchildren go to a small private school that doesn't have school bus service. The other 5 grandkids aren't school age yet, but soon will be. So now Hayes will be able to take all the kids to school on the Grandfather Express.
Hayes says after the trek to school, he'll come back for his car and then go to work. The Grandfather Express is scheduled to start rolling after Christmas break. This grandfather is actually really lucky that all 10 of his grandchildren live in the same place and are going to almost the same school. I mean, that's rare in itself.
That is a cool idea.
That's awesome.
Something tells me if that bus is big enough, he's going to have more kids on there, though. But at least he's got his.
I would want to ride on the Grandfather Express.
Looks like,
I would think that was so cool.
He looks like a cool grandpa.
Yeah.
Like all grandpas. Cool.
David Sears. He's cool.
So, speaking of cool, you love coffee.
I love coffee and I love to eat. So this story.
Well, this is right up your alley then.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently a new study, we always got studies coming out. One day they say this is bad. One day they say this is good. It's all moderation.
I like this study, though.
4 cups of coffee daily could reduce weight gain from a diet high in fat and sugar. How, you ask?
From all of the stuff you're eating this holiday season. Now, scientists say they tracked rats and discovered that those rats that had caffeine gained 16% less weight and accumulated 22% less fat than those who didn't.
See, the thing that bothers you, though, is they actually gained weight, but it was just 16% less. And they're rats.
Yeah, I don't know.
So do you know, the study was conducted by scientists at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. So, you know.
I think their logic here is you're going to be eating a lot. You drink the coffee. Coffee helps with the digestion process. And it also keeps you like high alert and you're moving and you're, I mean, if I have 4 cups of coffee, I'm running in circles.
I was going to say, 4 cups of coffee, you ought to be like wound up like an 8-day clock.
Yeah. There you go. That's how you burn all your holiday calories.
Exactly. All right. 9:38, 63 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9. And it was a year filled with a lot of news, including several weather events. After the break, we take a look at the year in weather.
Welcome back, 9:41. There are only 5 days left in 2019, but before the year ends, we're taking a look back at some of the most memorable stories.
Hurricane Dorian was arguably the most notable weather disaster of the year, but that's not the only record-breaking weather event we saw in 2019.
From tornadoes to floods, CNN's Daryl Forges has a look back at some of the year's top weather stories.
Howling winds, catastrophic flooding, and indescribable destruction. In September, one of the year's worst weather events battered the Bahamas. Hurricane Dorian first made landfall on the Abaco Islands as a 185-mile-per-hour Category 5. Then, just hours later, Dorian made its second landfall on Grand Bahama and stalled. Fierce winds lashed the island for nearly 24 hours.
Where I was staying, the roof caved in, the wall caved in.
Homes and businesses were wiped off their foundations or splintered like toothpicks. The storm surge and relentless rain led to devastating and deadly flooding.
It came over the roof. I would imagine 21 feet at least.
Howard Armstrong survived the storm, but his wife did not.
And she just drowned on me.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
More than 600 people were killed, and hundreds of others are still missing. Just days later,
Hurricane Dorian has its sights set on North Carolina.
And on September 6th, the storm made landfall over Cape Hatteras at a 90-mile-per-hour Category 1. But its effects were felt all across the Carolinas. High winds, downed power lines in Charleston, South Carolina, kicked up violent surf along the coast, and spawned a couple of tornadoes, including this one near Wilmington, North Carolina.
It was so fast. I remember hearing a loud noise. Next thing I know, the trailer started shaking.
According to Google Trends, Hurricane Dorian is the most searched news story of 2019. Also in September,
the most wild thing I have ever seen.
Tropical Storm Imelda dumped heavy flooding rains across parts of South Texas.
Just about every road in Winnie is flooded right now.
The storm formed near the Texas coast and made landfall an hour and a half later. As it slowly moved inland, Imelda inundated towns, prompting water rescues and road closures, and caused rivers to rise and overflow their banks. Several barges on the San Jacinto River broke free, with one slamming into a bridge along Interstate 10 and 2 becoming lodged underneath. According to the National Weather Service, Harris County received more than 15 inches of rain, while some areas in nearby Jefferson County picked up more than 3.5 feet. In the spring, severe storms produced numerous damaging tornadoes. Between late April and late May, there were 500 reports of tornadoes across 22 states, including Ohio, Oklahoma, and Missouri, and Kansas.
It sounded like a freight train going over.
Tens of thousands of people were left in the dark, and dozens of homes were damaged or destroyed.
Felt like some hail or something, and my husband looked up and he said, well, we don't have a roof anymore.
May of 2019 set a record with tornadoes reported for 14 consecutive days. And in Northern California,
they're very erratic. They haven't calmed down much.
hurricane force wind gusts helped fuel the Kincaid fire in Sonoma County. Flames erupted in late October and quickly spread, making the blaze hard to contain.
We just can't keep ahead of it.
The massive fire raged for nearly 2 weeks near Geyserville, prompting thousands of people to leave their homes. The Kincaid fire charred nearly 78,000 acres and destroyed more than 300 structures.
They'll rebuild, and it's just heartbreaking for them, to lose everything. I couldn't imagine.
I'm Daryl Forges reporting.
So locally, we didn't have any. We had some weird incidents, which you're going to have a review of that for us next week.
Yeah, we're going to take a look back. There were, it was a pretty quiet year, honestly. We had a couple of notable events that we'll touch on, but nothing that was crazy. 2019 was pretty. Let's go with the flow.
I'll take a non-crazy weather.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It was pretty relaxed. That was not the case back in 2004. I want to point this out. This is the anniversary of the tsunami, if you remember, back in 2004. This was a big one. Undersea earthquake that was about 9.1 on the Richter scale caused a giant wall of water. The tsunami was about 100 feet high in some spots, did a ton of damage. Remember, this was in the Indian Ocean out towards Asia, places like Malaysia and Indonesia, but that was the result. Just a huge tidal wave. Hard to believe that was 15 years ago, but it certainly was. So just to look back there. Okay, let's jump into some travel weather. We're looking across the country here, and there you go. I was waiting for this. Los Angeles now reporting some delays there in LAX, and that's because there's a storm system there right over LA right now, producing a lot of heavy rain and some very heavy snow, too, in the upper elevations there in California. That storm system will be moving in our direction, but at the moment we have no delays here, at least with air travel across the state of Texas. Good to see that. Outside right now, mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures at 63 degrees, 64 at Port SA. 60 Stinson, 63 at Randolph. Winds generally pretty light out of the east and northeast. Just about everybody's around the 60-degree mark. It's been a very mild morning. We're about 20 degrees above average when we're talking about morning lows here, and we should warm up into the 70s this afternoon. Visibility has improved across the entire area, although Del Rio, that's just popping up there down to about half a mile, so maybe a little bit of fog there. Otherwise, everyone's doing good as far as visibility is concerned. But the moisture has jumped up. We're seeing dew points now in the upper 50s, close to 60 in Gonzales. That is not typical of December, so we've got a lot of moisture pouring in. It'll be with us for a couple of days before a cold front comes in and sweeps it all out. But before that happens, we're hoping that that front gives us some lift and gives us some showers and storms. Visible satellite picture shows all the cloud cover we have. We've got some high clouds and then some low clouds too, so that's combining to give us those mostly cloudy skies. And all these high clouds are streaming in out ahead of that storm system, which we showed you out there along the coast of California. A little bit of a swirl in the atmosphere right there, and there's a lot of heavy rain with this system. Now, it will weaken some as it moves towards Texas, but I still think it gives us a pretty good chance of rain. So as we go into tomorrow, some showers up across North Texas. We may see a couple showers tomorrow morning, maybe some drizzle and fog, and then tomorrow afternoon, can't rule out a straight shower or two, but rain chances are fairly low tomorrow, only a 20% chance. But on Saturday, as this storm system moves in, our rain chances come up some. We're talking 40% scattered showers, maybe a couple thunderstorms, and this will be fairly widespread. San Antonio up north to Oklahoma City. We'll see that chance of rain out ahead of that front. So 70 degrees today, mostly cloudy. East-southeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. 71 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain. We'll go 40% chance on Saturday. And then Sunday, sunny and cooler, 62, 35 Monday morning. But the clouds return, some moisture returns for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. We'll have to watch that because we don't want, a whole lot of rain out there for New Year's Eve. But it's a possibility. And we'll see where we end up for the year, by the way, rainfall-wise. We're way behind. Yeah. We need some rain.
Could use it. Moisten up the ground a little bit before people have their fireworks shows.
That's true.
All around.
That's true.
I feel like we've had more of those moisture clouds that kind of just sit there and it feels like it's raining, but
nothing significant. You're right. Not important rain. Yeah.
Well, we'll be right back. You're watching GMSA at 9.
My name is Diana Macias. I am from San Antonio, Texas.
My New Year's resolution is to be a better person overall with my family, friends.
My name is Jose Pieza. I am from Mexico, Puebla. And my resolution for New Year is to be happier and to have a lot of work.
Good morning.
Hey guys.
Coming up on Live, we're in Las Vegas with the incredible Shania Twain.
Plus, I'll be taking you on a tour of the best food in Las Vegas. See you in a few on Live.
Apparently the lights are pretty bright in Vegas.
Guess so.
Gotta wear those glasses.
I don't know. There's some traffic for you, or not. I don't know where everybody is today, but it was supposed to be the heaviest travel day of the year. That's what they kept telling us, but no, not yet.
San Antonio's
This afternoon.
I think maybe later today it probably
get heavy?
picks up. Yeah, I don't know.
And the
Shops
holiday
open.
fell on such, on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you take off before? Do you take off after? Do you
Take the whole week off.
I bet there's some people that are working this morning just like us. Yeah, we're going to deal with some pretty decent weather today. 70 degrees, mostly cloudy. We'll get some fog, maybe some drizzle tomorrow morning. Slight chance of some showers on Friday. Best chance of rain will be Saturday, 40% chance, mainly during the afternoon there, then clearing out some Sunday into Monday.
All right, don't forget, tonight, the Spurs, after having yesterday off to enjoy Christmas with family, they hit the road yesterday evening, and they are in Dallas to take on Luka Doncic. Will he play? That's the question. He practiced on Christmas Eve. Remember, he hurt his ankle a couple weeks ago, but out since. And last time the Spurs played the Mavs, Spurs lost by 7, and he had like 40-something, 42, I think. So we'll see. Of course, they're coming off that big win against Memphis, so they need to see if they can win 2 in a row.
That'd be nice.
Because that doesn't happen very often this season.
Nope.
So, and then we were talking about all the people out on the roads. And of course, it is party time. People like to party on Christmas.
People like to drink and drive.
Yeah. So there's one, this is in New Hampshire?
No, Massachusetts.
That was close. It's up there in the Northeast.
A Massachusetts Police Department says you won't get Santa Claus is coming to town out of your head all day after this sign that they put up.
Yeah, you know that song, right?
He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. Well, check this sign out.
He sees you when you're speeding. He knows when you don't break. He knows if you've had a few, so don't go over .08.
Nice.
I like that.
That's very creative.
Smart. And our text dot signs all over the state of Texas remind you that Rudolph is the only one that can get lit. Right?
Yes, don't
He's the
drink
only one
and
that lights
drive.
up. Don't drink and
Yule.
drive. So,
What's it, Yule?
so they're trying to get people's attention up there. So that's good.
I like what TxDOT's doing. I like these signs. I say be more creative with these signs because it actually gets people's attention.
Whatever it takes to get people's attention and remind them and keep it in your head.
And there are so many alternatives to drinking and driving these days. You really don't have an excuse. So
Don't.
you
New
get out
Year's
there.
is coming up. Please be safe. Make smart decisions.
That's it. So
Download the Uber app, the Lyft app. Do cabs have apps?
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
Do you have an app?
I have the other apps.
Everybody's got an app. All right. We're almost done. Are we done?
I think so.
Done.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you at noon.